Hey, I hate what they've done to this world. I hate it. The stories I hear of people not getting to be with loved ones, having to endure all sorts of imprisonment and punishments and needling to get poked in the arm. I know I could go, but just let Andrea go to the shop with Alexander, and it's like I want to go and show him things and have fun, look at numbers, prices and stuff. He's really interested in these things, and this is part of his education, of course, but oh god, I can't bring myself to do it all the time. And just being, even though I wear it on my chin, it's a massive imposition. Oh, do it for your son and what have you. Well, this is all the kind of, I'll do it to get food, and we do. I know there are other places I could be getting food from as well, but I'm still moving out. That's the hope. That's the plan. Move out. People are being made to endure. We are being made to endure. But people have far worse stories than mine. And probably yours. But, horrible things. Last seeing a loved one through a window after months or a year or more of not being able to see them before they pass. Oh, well, they had this thing, didn't they? Or did they? Did the horror of that separation from loved ones make the difference in the end? People are going to get so angry. Today, I feel angry. I think it's the new moon. There's some other energetic play in play, apparently, but it is. And people just go along. Someone walked away from the scene, but it's no matter. In a moment you'll see more of it. And it's like, I'm researching wet lung, by the way. Yeah, when my head's in the right space. And the conditions of wet lung are similar to some of the conditions we're seeing now. What could cause wet lung, I wonder? Apparently, like steamy, hot environments can induce wet lung. Again, can't think of any steamy, hot, wet environment that people would be facing here, just life as usual, isn't it? This is just normal, so it can't be anything that we're doing now. Cool car, dude. Shame about the face. And the wet lung. I haven't had a chance to research it enough, but just the first article I read yesterday on wet lung It was like, are we not seeing the correlation here yet? Did I tell you that this guy, that a veteran pal, like really, like on it kind of guy, he helped set up the UK Veterans Association for South African soldiers, and he's been in intensive care for 50 days, induced coma for a few weeks. End of life stuff, It seems thankfully he'll be pulling through, but I'm not sure the up-to-date news. And the story I want to tell you is that they've had to put what they call underwater drains in his lungs in order to pull the fluid out of them. He's about my age, maybe a few years younger, but a bit of a heavy drinker, enjoys the food and carries a few stones too many, but he would have been in South Africa, and they are pretty retarded here with the nappy on the face business. He would have gone right along with it all, and possibly had to put it on for hours of the day, given the kind of thing that he does. So I just think that we're creating the pain. Wet lung will be one of the conditions. I don't know what you call toxicosis or high toxicity, causing people to become unwell, dizzy spells, all of a sudden fall over. Anyway, I'm just a little bit pissed off. I went to war 30-something years ago, and for my country. And the guys I went to war with, they like get together or talk, not all, but they share veteran stories, and they're all like, we were men, we were there, we were the irons. Well, you know what? Where are they now? These guys know that I'm in South Africa, and they do not want to support, contact me. And because they would rather preserve this fake heroism. There's nothing heroic about getting together with a mob of guys, training for a year and a half, getting some extremely violent weaponry, getting competent with all of that, and coming together like an orchestra to destroy another similar enemy. It's partly why I never followed team sport very much after that at all, because it was like, that's just a watered down version of what we did at war. And just kind of soften people up, because that's the us versus them dichotomy they love running here. So there's nothing heroic about a gang mobbing up on another gang, because that's really what democracy is today, is one gang mobbing another gang. And in South Africa, because of tribal and historic allegiances, there is no real second party, and even if it was, it would be another feather on the wing, right? Sorry for the long thoughts. I'm just, like I say, hacked off, because it's like the boys never grew up. They never became the men to stand up against tyranny. They just simply were the sheep that followed whoever their master was, And today, as I've said before, most white guys here would not vote for the ANC at all. Would not support them, although cleverly they did with Ramaphosa what they did with Trump, and that they gave people this idea that they were going to get this super wily businessman who was outside of the system, exactly the same play as they did in the US. I suppose with Boris as well. Boris was also like the outsider, very much so. I remember for all the years him, I'll never be president kind of thing, because what do they call it? Dictator. There was all a big joke, and he was the buffoon in Parliament, and all of us knew that for many years. Same with Donald Trump. I knew about him in the 90s, if not before. Anyway, so that's the thing here, is that why was I talking about the clowns, the actors? Oh yeah, that they give this kind of like, this guy. So the white folk, the business folk, the whatever centered folk, they were like for Ramaphosa, and then the Zuma guy, the previous Zulu leader, was had up on 700 charges of various things, which is like, okay, so it only comes out when he leaves office, and he's the only guy involved. So it's like he's got 700 billions of dollars of fraud, and it's all just been handled by one man, and there's nobody else involved, and there's no corporations that have been in and out, and if it is backdoor. Yeah. I don't know what to say, friends, because I know, like in other places, there's not all of this going on quite so obviously, but I know that there's all sorts of permission slips required for various things, controls and barriers going up all over the place. Man, my goodness. And then the odd distraction. I was thinking this morning, we haven't had any of those, bridge bombing events lately, because obviously the guys are kind enough to take a little time off their acting from that to work on more contemporary projects rather than the FF flag department. But yeah, it's just horrific, really. And as I say to people on a stronger day, I'm like, this is unfortunately what humanity has been led to, has allowed to occur, consented to become that. It's amazing, actually, because you see that, we always used to categorize it as the curtain twitcher next door, the old lady with a blue rinse kind of thing. But now it's every man. Every man's willing to be, hey, where's your what about you? You're not falling in line with the party thing. And we didn't vote for the ANC. We'll never vote for them, but we'll go along with what they tell us to do. We actually literally fought against, literally physically in battle fought against the ANC. And these guys are fucking taking it up the arse from them now. That's disgraceful. And they carry their medals, and we're such, get together and get soaked on beer and whatnot, we're such heroes. No, doing it for the master, doing it in a gang, there's nothing heroic about that. We were doing it to survive. Yes, your teammates are your teammates, whether you're playing rugby or it's in the game of life and death on the battlefield. And I went the extra mile for my teammates, which is why I got that extra medal. But what are these things worth? And the trinkets of a lie. We're propping up a lie, and at the same time as propping up that same lie, we are acquiescing and bending to the insane mandates of the other lie on the other side of the other wing of the bird. It's crazy. But this, Ramaphosa's a good businessman, and he wouldn't sell us out like that. And he'd care. He must care about the economy, so he'd surely be like very sure before crushing it, right? And there's good science, man, and it's coming from, the WHO, World Health Organization, and all these other paid-for operatives, just the other feathers on the bird, man. Can't you see it? It's been a one-world system for, well, probably much more than my lifetime. Much more than my lifetime, 50-something. And maybe 50 centuries. Anyway, I've gone on long enough. I think my crew are coming back from the shop, and I feel a little bit better getting that off my chest. Some human faces. Here comes the sun. Whoa, 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 whoa! I thought this guy was coming in a bit fast. Shit.